So thank you very much for the invitation. As I told you, I like to be with you in person, but this time is not possible. But I hope in the future we can meet and exchange ideas. At the moment, I would like to share with you some information regarding our program focused on routing security. As you know, the internet is formed by around 71,000 networks. Those are autonomous systems. These are all the networks connected to the internet with an assignated autonomous system number and also with a group of IP addresses. So all these networks exchange information, exchange data, on a voluntary basis, because that's the way the internet has been designed. In particular, the BGP protocol relies on trust of the actors of the internet. So if one of these networks announces that is able to reach a certain group of other autonomous systems in the internet, the networks are confident and are trusting that they can reach the network through that ASN. The thing with this design is that we've seen a lot of incidents every day. We can say that the routing system is constantly under attack. In this graphic, you can see that during last year, we've been possible BGP route hijacks almost all day. We can see an incident every week. For example, there's a notable peak here in, in, in April last year, but we've seen a lot of these kind of incidents during the time. For that reason, we believe that as technical community, we are able to offer possible solutions to, if not to avoid any risk at all, to diminish the possibility of the incidents. We have an initiative called MANRS, mutually agreed norms for routing security, and as part of this effort, we have an observatory. This observatory is available for public view at observatory.manners.org, and this is a specific view of the incidents and also of the state of routing security in the Caribbean. This is as of June this year. And we can see, for example, that a lot of operators are doing BGP filtering in the Caribbean. We can see 91% of compliance. That is one of the actions that we are asking people, network operators, to implement in MANRS. We've seen, however, that we have a good opportunity area in the anti-spoofing measures because we have a 74% of compliance with the anti-spoofing measure. And for example, there's also a good opportunity for coordination. When we have an incident happening in real time, we tend to contact the network operator that is originating a route leak or a bug announcement or hijacking some prefixes. And this is doable with a proper coordination, having the proper contact person to reach out in case of any incident. So I will explain later what's the best way to coordinate among network operators. And an important topic is that we are having also a good opportunity on global validation with IRR or with our RPKI. The thing with these actions is that we are trying to avoid these kind of incidents. Last year, starting from June 2020 to June this year, we've been seeing incidents all the time. For example, this graphic is regarding route leaks. We've seen a lot of route leaks in the Caribbean in general with the operators, but also bug announcements. That is some kind of incorrect announcement that could be corrected with some easy actions in the technical side. Here we are signaling some culprits, so to speak, but Instead of having like a name and shame policy, we are trying to identify the operators that are included or are related to these incidents in order to work together to improve the configuration, because much of these incidents are caused without an intention. It's not properly an attack, but misconfiguration or some mistake in the technical side. So that's why we are trying to work together with the community to offer this kind of solutions to improve the routing security in a collaborative environment. This observatory offers also some specific views on the kinds of incidents that we are seeing. For example, again, starting from June last year, we can see that, for example, this operator, GlobalNet, is having some issues with filtering. And for example, also as part of the observatory, we can see that these kind of incidents are related to route leaks by a direct customer of this operator. In this case, GlobalNet is not a MANRS participant, so we can see that they are not filtering in BGP all the time. It's the same with some other operators here in the Caribbean. The observatory offers us some views regarding, for example, with bogon announcements. In September last year, we've seen that some misconfigurations in some other operators have originated these bogon announcements. In general terms, we have seen also some unregistered prefixes announced, and also the difficulty to validate the announcements because not much operators are using global validation. That's why seeing all these incidents is that we are promoting the mutual agreed norms on routing security. This initiative, this project, promoted by the Internet Society but supported by the entire technical community, provides some specific technical actions to eliminate or mitigate the most common threats to the global routing system. We know that this is a shared challenge with all the community, with all the operators, because this is not only for ISPs, this is for any network operator with an autonomous system number with a block of IP addresses assigned, because we need to implement best operational practices, and that's what is offered with MANRS. This project is based on the collaboration among all the participants. This is also a shared responsibility because we have to work together to improve the security of the internet infrastructure. One of the important things is that as we are working with the community in developing best practices, we are not asking for some specific vendor to use or some specific certificate or any new standard in terms of paying or generating codes. This can be implemented by any operator that is speaking BGP, so to speak. At the moment, we have 3 programs, one for network operators, another one for internet exchange points, and another one for CDNs and cloud providers. For example, in EuroIX and with LACIX and with some other IXP associations, we've seen a lot of IXPs joining the program. Recently, the IXP in the Dominican Republic just joined the program this year because they are working together to implement these kind of solutions. At the moment, we've seen that MANRS participants have been increasing over time. At the moment, we have almost 100 IXPs joining the programs. We have a lot of ISPs that includes 700 ASNs, and the CDNs and cloud provider system program is also working well in adapting and having new members. One of the important things for the Caribbean is that we've seen that there are more than 300 ASNs advertised in the Caribbean, but only one of them is part of the MANRS initiative. It's located in the Dominican Republic. As I told you, also the IXP in the Dominican Republic joined the IXP program. And one thing that we have identified as a good opportunity to collaborate with the Caribbean stakeholders is that nearly all Caribbean ASNs look to be MANRS conformant. At the moment, as I showed you in the observatory, we have, for network operators, we have 4 specific actions. First of all, filtering in BGP, that is a common practice, that is mandatory to join the program. Then the anti-spoofing practices are not obligatory, but recommended to implement in the network. And the other 2 actions are mandatory for joining the MANRS program. The coordination part that it could be completed by registering in some public database. That database, for example, BGP in BGP stream, or with ARIN or with LACNIC, depending on where you're located. And also implementing global validation. This can be done with RPKI or with IRR. In general terms, we've seen that most of the networks in different parts of the world are compliant with the actions, but they are lacking some concrete advice or some technical guidance, and that's why we are publishing this implementation guide. This is intended for network operators that perhaps are almost ready to join or are implementing these actions, but they have some doubts. So we published this document in our website in manrs.org. This is based on the feedback from the technical community, because we strongly believe that we need to work together to improve the resilience of the global routing system. We've been working with different stakeholders in different regions, and we would like to have your feedback on this implementation guide. I invite you to take a look to the document, to work together with us, with Shernon, with other members of the community to implement these actions. You can ask for trainings. We have a fellowship program. We have some fellows devoted to provide trainings to the technical community. So if you are interested in improving the technical security of the routing system, just contact us, reach out to us, and we can provide trainings material to implement these specific actions to improve the resilience of the internet. Over the time, after the implementation of these actions, we've seen a good number of incidents after the implementation of MANRS. For example, we've seen that with most MANRS participants, we have less incidents in the routing system. So this is not a topic to be ashamed of. All of the networks, all of the participants of the global internet are at risk of having some incident, because we know that the security is not perfect. We can take measures, have some mechanisms in mind, but we can generate an incident anytime, and that's okay. We need to work together to mitigate the risk, to mitigate the number of incidents, and that can be worked only in community. So feel free to reach out to us to ask questions. At the moment, you can use the Q&A section here in the Zoom webinar. So we would like to have more MANRS members from the Caribbean. It's a good opportunity to improve and to strengthen the security of the global routing security system. So thank you very much for the space, for the time. This is a really good forum. CarPIF is always a really good opportunity to share experiences, to know the community. So thanks for the space and for the time.
Thank you very much, Israel. I do have a question for you. For example, when people join MANRS, what are the, let's say, the benefits of joining MANRS? Will MANRS be like monitoring, let's say, the networks for the ISPs and then give them indications what they should do, or how does it work in reality?
Well, at the moment, the observatory that I shared with you has a public view that is really limited. I mean, you can see the incidents happening in real time, but each MANRS participant has a specific access to monitor their own network. They can identify any incident happening in real time. So that's a good advantage because MANRS provides a looking glass tool for monitoring this kind of incidents and to be aware if an incident is happening. The advantage of this is that as this is not a name and shame initiative, each participant can take any measure without needing, I don't know, announcing this to the broader community or to have like a, I mean, we know that there are a lot of alert services that can spot an incident when it's happening. And the advantage of being a MANRS participant is that you can have the tools to mitigate the incident, to eliminate the cause, to identify it quickly, and also to ask the community if by any reason you can't solve the problem by yourself. So this is like a best practices exchange space also to be part of MANRS.
Yes, something else you did mention, in the Caribbean, we have 312 ASNs, of which only one is a, a member of MANRS. Does this mean that the 311 other networks that it can form a threat for the global internet routing system?
Yes, so to speak, yes. The thing is that we know that much of these networks are not generating incidents on a voluntary basis. But we know that sometimes misconfigurations happens. That's why we are inviting people to join the initiative because that's a way to uh, have not only this shared vision of responsibility for the internet infrastructure and for the internet security, but also to have some measures in the operation life to being less exposed to the risk of generating an incident to the internet. Because we know that when an incident is happening, it's not only the technical side that is damaged, also the reputation of the organization can be in danger because we don't like to see the name of the organization generating an outage of service in some areas of the internet, things like that. So that's a good way to see the things.
Okay, thank you. And just another last question. Taking a look, for example, at Latin America and maybe also other parts of the world, those ISPs that did join MANRS, have you seen some, let's say, improvements in their operations?
In general terms, the major improvement is that they are more secure in the day-to-day operations. And also, as IXPs are a focal point of the local communities, they can be also a focal point to work on security aspects, not only related to routing, but also to any other aspects of the day-to-day operation with the networks. Because we have the program for IXPs, and each IXP that join MANRS can work with the community to also invite the members to join the MANRS program for network operators. So in general terms, it improves the collaboration, the coordination, not only the security part, that is one of the bonus of this initiative, I would say, given that in the internet, we are trying to do all the things in collaboration and coordination. It's a teamwork.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to give you now the last opportunity to invite especially IXPs to join MANRS. So I would like to give you the opportunity to say your last few words.
Well, we know this is a collaboration environment. The internet was created in collaboration, so we need to work together to improve the security of the internet and specifically of the routing security system. So join us. Feel free to reach out to us. Visit manners.org. There are a lot of resources to consult and to download. So feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Israel. Thank you for your very enlightening presentation, a very relevant and important topic. So as Israel did mention, let's join MANRS in order for us to keep the internet routing secure. Thanks once again.